All right, everybody, welcome back to the Tyler Smith pod. I'm still joined here. Right next to me is Kevin Jin, as always, our star.
Yep.
Kevin, how you been, man?
Good, good. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. The reason we haven't been with you guys is,
Doing.
Kevin can vouch for me as well. College has been kicking our
Yeah.
butt right now, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Just,
you said it best. You said it best. It's been something. So
I agree with soccer, intramural soccer classes. Like classes are rough. This 15-week
oh
semester
yeah.
thing, not good.
Oh
Not a
yeah.
good time. Not a good time.
Not a big fan. Not a big fan. I feel like
No,
every night we're like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this, but then something comes up and it's like, what the heck? So
I know. I know it's been a minute. It's been a minute, but I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be back for sure.
oh yeah. Oh yeah, we're back.
Yeah. Yep. I would say, unfortunately, not much has happened in the sports world since we left you guys. I mean, one big game that happened to be on a Sunday, a couple NBA trades, but today, remember, we're talking about that one thing that happened on a Sunday. Don't know if you guys know about it. Super Bowl Sunday. I mean, part of the reason why you've been pushing this off for so long is I still haven't been able to comprehend what happened. Still not doing well with that, not handling it too well. But have you? What are your thoughts, Kevin? How'd you feel?
My thoughts? I like you said, I think my heart my heart really had to reside with the Bengals. So to see the game go the way it did, it was a pretty sad moment to see. I did have the Rams winning in my prediction, which I guess I was right. But I
Oh
mean,
yeah, of course
still,
you were.
still, still, you gotta be have your hearts out for the Bengals, and man, it was a sad way to go out. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's just man, my heart still hurts. I was so upset after the game. I'm still upset about it now. It
Yeah,
is just one of those days, man. It's just next few days, even afterwards, like that loss stung. Like I don't know. My teams have
yeah,
sometimes lost. Like Michigan's lost to Ohio State quite a bit, the last few years of my life.
right.
And I put that Bengals game right up there, maybe if not worse than that. And I consider myself a diehard Michigan fan. It's
Right.
just like felt like my heart got ripped out of my chest. You guys all have a favorite team. You know the exact feeling. Maybe it was the Bengals. And if it was the Bengals, I'm sorry. If you're a Ohio State fan, you deserve it. But man, it just sucks. My heart hurt, and it hurt for days on end. Just seeing other Bengals fans, we both would just look at each other and be like, "Yep, that just happened." It was not fun. Not fun at all.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I feel you. I feel you. I mean, hey, I mean, you have to give it to them. I mean, uh, especially in that first half, they came out that scrappy energy that they wanted. That they come out with that
Mhm.
in the Super Bowl. So I think no discredit to them. I think they played a good game. Just
Yeah, absolutely.
the odds weren't in their favor. So
Yeah, so you had two really great teams play great games. I mean, just how it was. And
yep.
Aaron Donald made a great play at the end of that ball game. I mean, he
Oh
just took
man.
over.
Oh
Give him
man.
that ring. Give him that ring. He deserves it. He deserves
Yep.
it. I'd rather it not be against my Bengals, but man, does he deserve that? He deserves
Mhm.
that more than anybody in the league, probably. Probably right next to Matthew Stafford of people who deserve it. So I'm glad to see
It's
them get
fair.
one, but I didn't want to see them get it, against my Bengals. But I'm
It's
happy they
fair.
got
It's
it though.
fair.
Two players who deserved it for sure.
For sure. I mean, I remember watching that play. I mean, watch the Super Bowl together. I remember, man, look on your face. Ah, man, that was a sad one. It honestly made me sad looking at you. So I still remember that. So I feel your pain. I feel your pain.
Man, I was about moved to tears sitting in his dorm room, just sitting in the chair, felt my heart just fall out of my chest. It was just the worst feeling ever. And just to see it go the way we kind of talked about, at least I talked about it. Eli Apple, it's just like gotta keep him away from Cooper Cup, gotta keep him off
Name
the
of the
field as
game.
much as you can. And man, oh man, did that man get torched all night long. And did he hear about it on Twitter as well? Like
Right.
that was just he was a guy that just knew going into this game. We got to make sure he doesn't do something stupid, doesn't get lined up against Cooper Cup, doesn't get torched all night, and that's what happened all throughout the game and on the game sealing play, of course, one on
Yeah, I
one.
mean, yeah. I think we talked about that matchup if it was going to happen, and it did. I mean, we talked about it was going to be their biggest problem that they're going to face. I
Mhm.
mean, we saw in the game. I mean, Cooper Cup, he got the MVP, right?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
So I mean I think it just goes to show. I mean, we called it, so I don't
Yeah.
know. It was inevitable once it happened. So
It was one of those things like I knew was gonna happen. I didn't think the Bengals would win. I wanted them to win. I said they're gonna win, falling in my heart. But it's one of those things where you have to have everything go right.
right.
And man, Cooper Cup, what an excellent season that man had. He triple crown winner as a wide receiver, and then Super Bowl MVP as well as a wide receiver. It's unreal to see that happen. He was an absolute stud all season.
I know. I totally agree. I totally agree. He killed it. He killed it that game. But I mean, I mean, we saw that. I mean, Eli Apple, man. Like, I mean, what do you gotta say about that? I just gotta get your opinion on this.
Man, I'm glad he's a free agent now. I'm very happy he's a free agent now, but
I said that too. Yeah.
it's terrible. It's terrible. Like it's just like one of those things where you knew, like, if this happens, we're done. And
Right.
we go out there, and I'm sitting there, sitting next to you, talking about this, and I see Eli Apple running out to Cooper Cup on the far right, and I'm just like, oh no, oh no, oh no. And then I look back to the middle of the screen, and I don't see Jesse Bates or Von Bell sliding over for help. And I see Matthew Stafford just flip his shoulders. I'm like, that's game. And he just Cooper Cup goes up there, shakes Eli Apple, makes a good catch, reels it in. That was just a gutsy performance he had all day long. And then, of course, just like the fitting ending, Matthew Stafford, the ball in his hands, makes a great pass. His receiver goes up there, makes a terrific play, lands, game. That's when I kind of knew game was over at that point.
Ah, man. Yeah, I remember that play too. That was another. Um, I think that was one of like the turning points in the game, or like a really just like a key play
Yeah.
that really, if the momentum was there, it was gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, yeah, it did. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we talked about those. I mean, those key plays that were gonna happen. I mean, you just need
Mm-hmm.
one shift in the momentum, it's gonna happen. So
Yeah. I was saying the Bengals got the ball back after that, but you just kind of knew. It was just like,
yeah,
yep, it's done. The dream died. But what's even wilder is the Bengals offensive line. We talked about that leading into this game, how Aaron Donald, Von Miller were going to
right.
have a field day, more or less. And throughout the game, held them off, held them in check for a little bit, but those last couple of plays there, Aaron Donald just called game practically, just said, I'm going to end this.
Right.
I'm going to dominate right here. Killed the line. And what's even worse, have you seen the angle where Jamar Chase, he put Jalen Ramsey in the dirt on that last play? He put him in the dirt on the last play and was gone. So if Joe Burrow would have had another second half, well, not the last play, the play before he threw it away on fourth down, that third down would have been a touchdown. He can just throw it up there, and Jamar Chase would have had a walk-in touchdown. And I didn't see it live because obviously we're all so focused on Joe Burrow and the line.
Right. Yeah.
But to see him that play afterwards, a couple hours after the game, that alternate angle, just see Jalen Ramsey tripping and falling with Jamar Chase wide open. Like it was just like we were that close. Like we were just
It
offensive line
was.
that was
It was. It
like
was.
that's just like
That's yeah.
half a second or a second longer, makes a world of a difference. The Bengals host
Yeah.
up the Super Bowl, host up the Lombardi Trophy. We don't get to see drunk Matthew Stafford.
Oh
Just
man.
it's so different. It comes out so much different.
Yeah, it does. It sounds like you're visualizing the dub already.
Man, like I
Honestly.
just could see it. Like I could see it.
You'd
It
see it.
just
It was
felt
right there.
right.
It was right there.
It felt right. Like this was the year as a Bengals fan. As a Bengals fan, normally never anything goes your way. And finally, just like everything that could go our way, low key went our way this season.
Yeah.
We throttled the Steelers every time we played them. We beat the Ravens. Joe Burrow had a great game against the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
The Browns are the Browns. The Bengals and Browns always split for some reason. And we played them the last week of the season, kind of in a joke game where no one played. But
Yeah.
everything went right for you. You'd take a loss to the Browns because you're in the playoffs already. That's cool. But we had everything going right for us. We were going to be there. We got there, and we were just a second and a half away probably from getting it. Or you can even rewind and think about all the flags that were thrown the last couple of plays there.
Right.
The biggest argument I've heard people making is, they missed that call where T. Higgins threw Jalen Ramsey like into the dirt. Well, yeah, it happens. That's a missed call. Like in sports, missed calls happen all the time. Unfortunately, that one was a play where there's a score on it, where it kind of changed the game, but it's going to happen. But my biggest counter argument to that is there's a difference between a missed call and a blown call. And the Jalen Ramsey T. Higgins play, that was a blown call, like a missed call, where blown calls and missed calls are similar, but they just missed it. They weren't watching the play close enough to see it. A blown call was what we saw with Logan Wilson there at the very end of Cooper Kupp. That was a textbook play, a perfect play nonetheless. A linebacker on the best wide receiver in the league, and you do everything textbook and perfect. And next thing you know, you see a yellow flag come flying in like this and land right next to his feet. It's just a terrible feeling. Just a terrible feeling.
Hot take. Hot take, Tyler.
I don't think it's that hot of a take, man. But if you think it is, I'll ride that hot take. I'll take that hot take to my grave. Because it was a perfect play. And that's my biggest argument. There's a difference between a missed call and a blown call.
Yeah.
And if you were to Google what a missed call was, you can look and everyone's going to point that out. You see the clip all over the internet. He literally comes up and then catch and then runs. Where you have Logan Wilson just wrap his arm around his waist, kind of in a legal position, like it's a legal play, and go out and make a little tip. That's a legal play. And you could maybe make an argument occasionally, depending on who the referee is. Yes, it's a flag. But in the nature of the Super Bowl, where they didn't throw any flags until like the last minute and a half. And you swallow your whistle all night. That's the one you're going to throw your flag and blow your whistle on. But that's like, you just don't do that. And even in a game where you've been calling flags and throwing penalties all day, you don't make a call on a game-changing play. Like as a referee, you don't want the referee to be the storyline of a game. And we talked about that earlier on in the playoffs.
We did.
Where the referees are not supposed to be the storyline. The referee is supposed to assist the game and make sure the game is done correctly and not have an impact on the game. And that's an impact on the game scenario right there. And it changed the impact. It impacted the biggest game of the year, the Super Bowl. Arguably the biggest sporting event in the world every single year. You can argue. And they made an impact on that. They redetermined the outcome because the game was over. Flag comes in, gives the Rams a second chance. And it just changes the entire game. It's terrible. Like I could live with it if they were throwing flags on every single play all night, anytime there's a little bit of a bumper tug or little wrap up, something like that. Like I could live with it. But the fact that they didn't, and even if they were throwing flags all day, I'd still be upset that they made that call on the last play, potentially the last play of the game. Last play of the game. You guys know what I mean. But still, it just hurts either way. It hurts much more this way because they swallowed their whistle all night, in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll agree with you to there. I think, especially in a game like the Super Bowl, I think your consistency has to be key. I will say, I did think that was a flag, but I do agree. The refs were not consistent in this game, especially a big game like the Super Bowl. I just think, it's you're right. It can't come down to be like a refs game. I mean, we saw it in the playoff games before. It's just not something you want to see in like the bigger stages of football. I mean, just not. It's not enjoyable. It's just not what you want to see. So, at that point, I will agree with you on there for sure.
Yeah, it's just really upsetting to see it happen, in my opinion. It's just brutal. It was heart-wrenching, gut-wrenching. You just don't do it. But one person I'm feeling for right now, in both kind of ways, I'm very happy for him, is Odell Beckham Jr., but also feel real bad for them. Odell Beckham Jr. with that tearing his ACL there. like he got the ring. I'm happy for him. But man, did I want to see that
Right.
guy on the field making plays all night. Just not as a Bengals fan, but just as a football fan. You want to see the best
Yeah.
players out there in the biggest
You
moments. You don't
do.
want to see someone
You
going
do.
down. And he was
No,
having a
yeah, that
great,
was a sad
great day
moment.
till that.
Yeah, definitely, for sure, for sure. I mean, it's just like the emotions of the game, man. I mean, yeah, you hate to see it, especially like yeah, it's one of a player, especially like Odell Beckham. So,
Mhm.
yeah, it's it's just so unfortunate. There was so many factors that played in this game, so it's just one of those things. So unfortunate. So
Yeah. It's just, man, it's wild to think about it. The Super Bowl was the granddaddy of them all. Everybody refers to it as that. It's the big
yeah,
game. And I feel honored to be able to see my team compete in the Super Bowl. But man, does it hurt to know that they lost in the Super Bowl too. It's tough. And then obviously the things that happen after the Super Bowl are always great. Matthew Stafford in the parade, giving his speech, drunk as can be. Same with Sean McVay and all those guys. It's good moments, good memories. It's just a great time. I feel for the photographer that did fall off that stage though. Have you heard about that?
yeah, I did see
Okay.
that. I did see that.
Yeah. I feel for everybody's giving Matthew Stafford a bad rap on that one, but hey, he's stepping up paying for the hospital bills for the lady, so all is well there, I hope. All is well there, I hope. But what's
Yeah.
even better is the social media reaction to it all. Like Tom Brady tweeted out to Matthew Stafford saying, "Hey, mix in a water or two," which after we've seen Tom Brady be drunk as can be and take the trophy in his hand and then toss it over the ocean into another boat. Like it's just the moments that come after the Super Bowl, especially in this like social media age where everything's so accessible, it's just unreal to
Yeah.
see. It's hilarious.
No, I mean, I made all credits to them. I mean, I'd be having the most fun with it,
Oh my
honestly.
gosh, same. I can't blame him. I can't blame that single
So
bit.
yeah, I mean, the emotions that come with it, I think totally valid. I
Oh
do the
yeah,
same thing.
absolutely.
Then,
I can't blame him 100%. I feel for
yeah, you
them
cannot
100%.
blame them.
But you got to live that moment to the best of its possibilities. You enjoy
Yeah,
the
for sure,
heck out of
for
that
sure,
moment. You do
for
anything
sure.
and everything you can. You're on top of the world, so I don't blame him one bit. It's especially a guy like Matthew
You
Stafford
can't.
and Aaron Donald, guys who've been chasing that their whole lives. Not everybody can be Tom Brady, who has too many rings to count. But to get that one ring, especially with Matthew Stafford, right? That's his legacy right there. That puts the stamp of approval on his Hall of Fame career right there.
Right?
So
Yeah.
that's just like this big weight that's been sitting on his shoulders since he's been drafted into Detroit, left Georgia. It's a good feeling for him. I can't blame him. I can't blame him one bit for living that moment up as much as he could be.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, one day here we'll have an HCAC parade and we'll be doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, I mean that's the hope. That's the hope. That's the hope. We got 2 more years to go. So
Yep. It's crazy. I feel for those athletes. Not feel for them because like it's not a sad moment,
but
but
I mean, you can
I know
relate. You can
exactly.
relate.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can relate to him. I can relate to him. That's a great way of saying it.
Yes.
Because
Yes. That's a
any
great way. Yeah.
athlete who wins that championship or a tournament or their league or anything, you had that feeling. But now imagine that times like a million. That's what the Super Bowl is. That's what all these big time events like the Super Bowl, the World Cup, etc., NHL, NBA championship, all those things, the World Series. They're all the same. They all feel great. And it's just awesome to celebrate with all your teammates because you've worked your entire career for that in that season and to celebrate with your whole city, which is pretty awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I do wish the parade was in Cincinnati because if there was a parade in Cincinnati, I definitely would have been going down there for you guys getting some content of that. But didn't work out like that. Didn't work out like that one bit. Um, but the Bengals did get a pretty good reception after they landed on their plane back in Cincy. Their little private airport that they flew into. Ton of fans outside cheering them on, which is pretty awesome to see.
That's
Just
awesome.
good fan base. Because I was afraid some Bengals fans would be bitter and upset and just would kind of die off. But I think Bengals fans might be sticking around for a little bit longer. This was just
Um,
a terrific season, in my opinion, with all these
I,
playoff games in the regular season. How do you feel about it?
I do agree. I think definitely you're not gonna see another like just the NFL season in general like this, just filled with
Mm-hmm.
emotion, controversy. I mean, you're just never gonna see it again. I think this is one of the best ones that we've seen in our lifetime. Probably
Oh,
the
I agree.
best ones a lot of people have seen in their lifetime, I'd
Mhm.
have to say. I mean, there's a lot that happened. I think a lot of redemption, especially for players like Matthew Stafford.
Mhm.
So I mean, it was awesome to see, honestly. Uh,
Yeah, I agree.
it was it was honestly just a great season for sure.
Mhm. Yeah, I say hopefully all the other 17 game seasons go the same way. I hope they do because it's been a terrific year. Talk about the headlines, positive headlines and negative headlines. Like there's enough negative headlines this season alone to
Yeah,
fill up multiple NFL seasons. Obviously, we don't want negative headlines going on because that means something bad happened. But it's inevitable, unfortunately. But there's so many positive headlines as well. It
right.
just the 17 game season, the stories, the records being broken, the record chasing, the record hunt, things like that. It's been terrific to see. It's been a great season all around. So I'm really excited. I hope all the other 17 game seasons go the same way. As well as this year, we had the Monday Night Manning not Monday Night Manning podcast, but the
Yeah,
talk show where they would watch over the game and talk to their fans. That was probably my favorite addition from this season. I really enjoyed that. And then obviously seeing my Bengals do great. I mean, I can understand maybe you being pretty upset about this season with the way your Colts finished up. They had a great
yeah,
regular season until the last 2 3 weeks there, but
yeah.
there's a lot of things to be excited for. You know, the NFL free agency in the offseason just started here a couple days ago. So we start seeing guys get franchise tagged and whatnot. Colts might be making some big time moves at the QB position as well.
Probably,
So
probably, yeah.
it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm honestly very excited for next season. I think, in terms of this season, I think there's gonna be a lot of build up for next one. So I'm excited. I'm excited. Just yeah, can't wait for the fall to come.
I agree. July and August aren't too far away. They'll be
No, they're
coming here
not.
soon.
No, they're
So
not.
I mean
Yeah.
they'll be coming around sooner than we think. And maybe the Bengals and Colts meet in the AFC Championship game next year. Who knows? Who knows? It'll
Yeah,
be very exciting to see.
we will see.
Maybe
Yeah, we will
Aaron
see for
Rodgers
sure.
goes to the Colts. Maybe Aaron Rodgers ends up with the Colts, or the Colts just draft somebody, or maybe it's Jimmy Garoppolo, the handsomest man in the NFL. Who knows?
Yeah, we will
Who
see. We'll
knows?
see. No comment on
So
that. No comment on that. But
no comment. No comment. I'm just speaking from the general public. I think everybody
yeah,
thinks Jimmy
yeah.
Garoppolo
You're right.
is
Yeah.
a very sexy quarterback. That's not my opinion. Not my opinion. But I know way too many people who have that opinion. I like Garoppolo as a ball player. I'm not here to talk about his looks and his
Hey,
attractiveness. That's not
I
for me.
mean, some people care more about that. So I mean, it's got to be said. It's got to be said.
Got to be said. It has to be said. So maybe Colts Nation's all about that. You know, I'm not a Colts fan. You're a Colts fan, so you can talk on that one. But I don't know. I care about more of the on-field stuff and the swagger like Joe Burr. So Jamar Chase, things like that. So we gotta take what you can get. Each fan base is different. So maybe the Colts do want a pretty boy playing quarterback. They might.
I mean, yeah, if it brings in the sales in the front office, I mean, we'll take it. We'll take it.
Hey, sales pushing green and getting the W's. You know, that's all
Exactly.
that matters.
Exactly. Yep. For sure.
It's all
For
that
sure.
matters. All that matters at all. But we appreciate you guys tagging along, watching with us, watching this NFL season with us, and joining us here in the last little bit of the playoffs. Hopefully next season you'll be able to join us every single week. And obviously throughout the NFL free agency and offseason, we'll keep you guys intact, keep you up in touch, and we'll try and do our best. We'll try to finish our homework when we can so we can talk with you guys. But man, I'm excited for this NFL offseason. So
I am
thank you
too.
for watching. Thank you for joining us. And we'll see you next time.
Awesome. Thank you, man.
Peace.
Thanks for watching.